is your goal? Is it to just learn magic? Are you curious about magic? You kind of develop some sort of curiosity? I'm going to let you in a little secret. That is my goal for this year for that. I'm going to get into that formula and hopefully that can help you pick up your goals a little bit more. Okay, we are live. Hello everybody and welcome back to the Ricky Tura podcast, episode 77, I want to say. 77. So, how are you guys doing? I hope you guys had a very, very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. I know I did, and I hope that you guys have a lovely 2024. So, with that being said, guys, we are here. It is a new year. It is a brand new Ricky Tura podcast special episode to start off the year. Let's just jump straight into it. I thought, why not start off the first episode of the new year, 2024. I still, getting my head around that it's 2024. Let's start off with just goals, okay? Like, what are your goals? Like, I'm not going to lie to you, I'm not a big fan of New Year's resolutions. So this episode is, let me read this properly. This episode is 2024 goals for magicians. Now, I know what you're thinking. God damn, Ricky, why couldn't you just make this generalised so it could apply to everybody? Because, baby, I am a magician, okay? So I'm sorry if you're not a magician. If this applies to you, if you're a musician or have a hobby or a craft in any sort of way, perhaps you can retwist what I'm about to talk about into your kind of routine and your kind of goal plan. If you guys have already made a goal plan, pat yourselves on the shoulder because, yeah, you guys are ahead of the game. But I thought, you know what, let's start the first episode off. Let's do goals for magicians. Now, I'm going to talk about specifically in this episode for myself because I feel like I can't really teach any magicians about their goals. Everybody has a different goal, but specifically for me. But you know what? Just for all the magicians out there, let's start this off, okay? What are your magic goals, okay? Have you got any magic goals? And if you do, let me know in the description, boys. Come on, in the comments below. So, is your goal, is it to just learn magic? Are you curious about magic? You kind of develop some sort of curiosity? If so, what are your goals to learn magic? It's weird because I didn't have any goals when I first came across magic. I kind of just looked into it myself. But as the years went on, I kind of did have goals. But if you are a beginner and you want to learn magic, what are your goals? What do you want to learn? I know I break this down very, very specifically in a previous episode. I'll tag it if I can, if I remember which one it is. But yeah, what do you want to learn? Do you want to learn card magic, stage magic? Do you want to do a bit of everything? Do you have everything set for like your year? Yeah, I know it's kind of like, Ricky, well, dude, I'm just learning magic, man. Let me just let my mind be free. Like, listen, there's nothing wrong with that. That can be your goal. Let your mind be free. See what you like, and then once you've found what you like, you can kind of build a plan around that. But if you do have a plan, your January to December plan, let me know. But what is it? Like, for example, for this Learn Magic one, are you learning a specific move from January to March, first quarter? What are you doing? I'm just saying, for example, like January to March, you're learning a card move. April to June, you're performing the card move. And then, I don't know, July to September, you're learning another card move or a certain effect. And then in October to December, you're performing that again with the first half of what you've learned with the card move. Like, that's just an example. I've just done it quarterly, but it could be totally different for you. So, yeah, is your goal to learn magic? Is your goal to perform magic? Now, I've just said that, but specifically, is your goal to perform magic? Have you guys just been, and it's very common, it's very, very common this, have you guys just been practicing magic like loads, like in your bedroom or whatever? I've been there. And have you just not been performing? You're kind of like building yourself up like, yeah, I'm going to do it. But when you want to do it, you just haven't got that lift off. So is it your goal to perform magic this year in 2024? And if so, what are your goals for it? What are you doing to achieve it? What steps are you doing there to do it? For me personally, I didn't have any goals to perform magic. I just forced myself to do it. I had my cousin there. My cousin was like, Ricky, just do it. And I did it. I don't know if I've told this story before. I will quickly get into it. For people that want to perform magic, you know, I guess I did have a goal in my head where it was like just perform for one person and one person only. And I remember it was at my cousin's engagement party. We're talking years ago now. I'm probably over a decade ago now, since we're in 2024. Well over a decade ago. It was an engagement party and there were loads of people there, probably about 300-400 people. At the time, for me, it was a lot. And I said to myself, you know what? It's a family event. Let's just do one. Let's do one. And I went up to the workers there who were doing catering. I showed them it. Blew their minds. And I was kind of just off from there. But the goal, that's another important thing. The goal should be small. It should start off small. And then it should be large. Right, guys. So, as I was saying, the goal should be small. So, like I did there, I kind of really wanted just to perform for one person. And then, slowly but surely, I started performing for more people there. But nevertheless, if that's your goal to perform magic, whether you want to perform for one person, 2 people, 100 people, it should always start off with one and then going up to whatever you want. The world is your oyster, right? But yeah, those could be examples of goals. Okay, I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just telling you from my experience what I found easier for myself. Is your goal to improve magic? Okay, that would be an interesting one, and I'm going to let you in a little secret. That is my goal for this year for that. And the next one is your goals to study magic. Would you want to develop more of your knowledge into theory for magic? If so, what would that be? What would you want to do? Would you break it down? What would you learn from mentors? Would you go up to people? Would you go into magic shops, or would you look it up online? You know, the things to think about there. But yeah, like I said in that earlier point, my goal is to improve my magic this year. And what I mean by that is not that it's bad, because I performed magic a few days ago and the crowd were great, by the way, and it was good. But the thing is, I want to develop on that, and I want to improve the quality of my magic. I feel like I've done the same effects over and over again, which I've got no problem performing whatsoever. I just want something new, but with a bit more quality there as well. And I'm gonna actually tell you a formula that I've come up with recently. I've not tried it. Well, I've tried about 70% of it, and I've added a few things into the formula for this year for myself. So if this helps any magicians out there whatsoever to improve their magic or the quality of the magic, I'm just telling you something that I've read upon, learnt from others online. I'm going to credit them at the end of this video, and I've just added my own kind of sauce onto it, you can say, as well. So I'm going to get into that formula, and hopefully that can help you pick up your goals a little bit more. So my formula for how I'm going to perform more quality magic. Now, I know we've talked about goals at the first half of this episode. I'm going to tell you the formula, and then I'll let you know how I'm going to put that into a goal plan later on in the video. But yeah, I've broke it down into 5 points, okay, and then under them 5 points I've got little formulations of what I'm going to do basically. So under these 5 headings, it is research, practice, perform, improve, and implement. So research, practice, perform, improve, and implement. Now, I'm going to tell you what each one does, because this is very important for you guys, alright? Well, for myself, that I'm letting you guys know about. So for research, I'm mainly talking about researching magic. So I want to improve the quality of my magic. Well, what magic do I actually want, first and foremost? What do I want to perform? And even more important than that, what suits my style. Now, for me personally, I've got to look up on that. It's great asking yourself questions. But once I have that figured out, I can kind of move on. I'm not just buying anything online. I'm specifically narrowing everything down to perhaps a certain style or certain effects that work and complement my style. So that's a big tip right there. Once I have something that I've researched that suits my style, that I want to perform, purchase it. I purchase the effect. And then this is the most important thing. And I learned this from Justin Flom, so I'm going to credit him here for this. This was back in the heyday of Snapchat. I'm talking over 10 years ago now. And I used to follow Justin Flom quite a lot on Snapchat. And I remember in one Snapchat story, he said, even before he practices magic that he's going to perform, before he even perhaps buys the effect, he writes a script of how he's going to say and work the audience. And that's been on my mind ever since. And I've only done it a few times, but I've realised it helps quite a lot. It did help quite a lot for one of my stage shows, actually. But that's very powerful. And in this research phase, after I've purchased the effect, whilst it's coming, from the shipment, from online, I want to write up a script for what I'm going to say to perform this effect. Because if you think about it, as a magician, you've seen it as like a spectator online on a trailer. And you've seen it online as a spectator. And it's kind of like now, what are you going to do in your style to perform it? So you kind of like write up your script. You can write it by hand or you can write it online. I write it online on like a document. And then slowly but surely, you've got something ready when your effect comes in the next day or 2 or 3. That's very powerful. That's something I'm going to develop on this year. So yeah, thank you, Justin Flom, for that. So after that research phase, so let's say you've got your effect now, it's practice. Practice. Now, I've got to credit Dominic Reyes here from The Merchant of Magic. And the reason why I'm going to do that is because he developed an ebook, and I believe it's Practicing Magic, something along them lines. You can look it up on Merchant of Magic, honestly, a big help. And he had a practice drill, and I still use it to this day. It's practicing an effect for 20 days, recording yourself back in them 20 days, and see how you are if you're performance ready. So basically your effect, you've got your script, and you've got your effect. You're learning your effect whilst you're doing the script. 20 days, you're watching yourself back after each day until you're performance ready. And when I say until you're performance ready, I mean the 20th day, right? Don't do it 30, 40, 50 days because you're just never going to perform it. That's really straightforward. The next one, perform. Show people. That's basically it. You show people, record your performance if you've got a friend that can hold a camera for you, and watch back. That's it. And then, this is very important. Okay, so we've basically just done research, practice and perform. We've already done 3 out of the 5. Okay, this next one's very important. It's improve. What do I mean by that? Well, perform and improve kind of like have arrows on each side, kind of like the cycle arrows, right? It keeps going back and forth with each other. The reason why is because if you perform that effect and you fail, and if you've recorded it, you can watch that back. And I hate watching myself back. That's something to improve on for myself. But once I do, you kind of know where you went wrong. You can maybe re-edit your script. You can maybe practice for 10 more days. That's in the practice drill. If it's not ready, performance ready, after 20 days and it just hasn't worked, practice for 10 more days. Not 20, not 11, 10 more days. Once you've got that, it goes straight back to perform. And you're never going to get out of that cycle until you keep improving. So even if you fail the second time, you go to improve, watch it back, blah, 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 until you get it right. And I feel like that's something that I've recently just came up with the other day. And I thought, you know what, that's brilliant, because that's something that I need, because I've talked about on the podcast episode where I just don't perform effects even though I've practiced them for so long. So yeah, let's say now you've done it. You've improved, you performed, it's gone perfect, okay? So basically now, after the perform, you've improved, so you go to implement. Now implement is something new that I've already done without realising. So that's why I've just added this in now, because I've realised I actually do it now. Once you build up a certain amount of effects, you can kind of put them in sets. And for those that don't know what I mean, you can kind of have a beginner effect, like an intro effect, the actual me effect, and this is credit to Dominic Reyes again, it's on the Merchant of Magic, and your closer effect. And once you do all of that, you're kind of building up a set. So each effect you're going through the cycle, you can see where it fits into your magic effects and see if it's an opener, kind of a meaty effect, like a multiple routine effect, or a closer, where it closes your whole audience. So yeah, I hope that helps. And I've wrote here multiple effects put into sets, perform after each other, and honestly, after you've implemented it, you've got 3 effects that complement each other with your opener, your meat, and your closer, and you've basically just developed a set. So you don't have to show one effect, you can just show back to each other to groups of people, and you can repeat that for eternity if you like. And ladies and gentlemen, that is my 2020 formula. Oh, let me rephrase that. Ladies and gentlemen, that is my 2024 formula for improving my quality of magic this year. It doesn't matter if the effects cost £1. It doesn't matter if the effects cost £1,000. If I just put it through this cycle, I know 100% I'll improve the quality of my magic. So I'm not saying the quality of the effect I'm getting, I'm saying the overall improvement in the quality of magic. And honestly guys, that's going to be me. I'm going to be here this time next year and tell you if it works or not. But I want to see if that helped you guys. Let me know in the comments below. Guys, this has been a funny episode, man. I've probably cut this out, but my milkman came in between. I had to open the shutters of the shop and everything. It was quite funny. But guys, this has been your boy Ricky Tura. Happy New Year, everybody. Again, I just want to credit Justin Flom and Dominic Reyes. Honestly, check them out. Merchant of Magic, Justin Flom. Guys, this has been your boy Ricky Tura. I will see you guys next week. Happy New Year to you all. Peace, stay strong, and remember, always follow your dreams.